Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero of Reich, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 on Simwaska here between Fortune, fighting here for the Reich, for Deutschland, for the Für Grenadier Brigade, with Breakthrough, Elite Armored, and Scavenger versus Biteandhold, fighting here for the United States of America. For the 2nd Infantry Division, tasked with holding this village as an armoured division moves from nearby elsewhere. The Für Grenadier Brigade has been tasked with clearing the way through and actually flanking in on the armoured division's movements and crushing it, hopefully. Bullets here are all Jaegers. Apparently the brigade has been slightly supported by them from a nearby SS Jaeger unit, which were basically the only Jaegers that actually fought on the Western Front, really. We got here a rifle company, infantry, and recon support with all infantry bullets here for Biteandhold, but so rapidly on the way. Volksgruppe on the way as well for Fortune. Schnell, Männer, vorwärts! The enemy waits for us. Really? Yeah, I'm sorry, but you should have been expecting this. Straight at the centre here, could have, for example, laid down a bit of barbed wire maybe to deny cover to those armies, but there you go. Push down here. Interesting enough, very interesting enough, in fact, Fortune seems to be so far ignoring the fuel point right next to his base. I'm not entirely sure what he's thinking with that. Not sure what he's thinking with that. Sturmpioniere advancing, and the Für Grenadier Brigade was alongside the Führer Begleit Brigade. 2 units formed up from, well, basically the Führer's bodyguard units around on the Eastern Front, formed from the CoH2 Deutschland, amongst other things, but also elements of the Landsturm, which were the Volkssturm's predecessor. By the way, a lot of little fun facts there. And so had a mix of equipment, were formed up for fighting in the Ardennes after the Wolfschanze was taken down. They were later formed into full divisions, and later on I believe actually a full Panzer Corps. We got fighting between the forces and the riflemen. Sturmpioniere fighting versus the rear, so the rear is great to have to get out of that one. Bit of a nice situation there versus the assault rifles from the Sturmpioniere. In fact, looks like we could see it white here already. No, looks like they managed to pull up here behind the riflemen, covering their remaining comrade, screaming, running away there, and finally going around here securing the fuel point. There again, very belated there for Fortune. Seems like in this case he basically favoured sort of getting more of his troops up the front line, securing that, and then sort of realised, figure you could always get some fuel afterwards. But definitely a bit risky, but also rather unusual. Sturmpioniere is going to need some support here, otherwise they're quickly going to get taken down. In fact, that might still happen. Down to 1 man there.
Rifle squad ready for action.
Got a Kubelwagen here arriving to support Fortune as well. And a Kubelwagen, yeah.
We're taking lead over here.
Schnell, Heinz, step on it. Rather than ending at the verse, himself, he rushes out of the building here, quickly drops Johnny. A few good shots there from the Car-98K. No grenades here, by for Biteandhold. No further sign of him, we just got more Robin ramming for him. Robin and Nilhand are quickly losing out here to some full ideas as the 3rd Reich. There we go, taking a few losses.
The enemy is overrunning one of our
Wagen moving ahead here on the roads. No further sign of anything here. Fuel point secured, moving up here. Still using the Sturmpioniere to secure points. A bit risky there, a bit risky. I mean, if a good flank would come through here, I mean, they could catch the Sturmpioniere and whatnot, but so far, fortunately, be gambling on it. Not happening, and so far it seems, well, not to happen. Rifle engaging Volksgruppe in a pretty bad spot. And looks like we're going to see a battle group headquarters up here for Fortune. Volksgruppe sneaking about there, and we've got a bit more here on the way. And setting up sandbags here, interestingly enough. Sturmpioniere bring down there to wide off well Sturmpioniere. I can already imagine him cursing at being set to do this job all of his own. God damn, High Command getting me to do this job without any reinforcements. Scheiße. Meanwhile, we got a bit of a nice harassment play here by Biteandhold, going here for the fuel point, hoping to deny Fortune some, of course. Not bad, not bad. Troops are retreating, cool running up here to deal with the American invader. A Kedmef on the way, even as the battle group headquarters is slowly finishing up here. It looks like he's basically using the sandbags as a small barricade, basically forcing the opponent to walk over. But at the same time, I mean, you know, that might cause not stop them moving in, but on the other hand, if they have to retreat, they have to take a longer path, so I suppose that could be the logic here for Fortune. Plus, of course, it also allows them to fight a bit here better if it needs be. There you go, pushed away for the fuel point, they're going to recapture and secure. And there we go, we got the Academy arriving here. Storm Pioneers are still at it. Still grumbling, still cursing, still quite unhappy.
Steady up, fellas.
Looks like here we go for a captain here for Biteandhold, adding in some bazookas. Deal with those goddamn Krauts and their goddamn Kraut cars. And Doctor here is now for Fortune, scavenge, and we immediately got the Jaegers here arriving.
We are receiving new orders.
Not too huge a surprise considering the bulletins he's got there. I mean, some players they like to go for all 3 bulletins there, sort of maybe, you know, fool their opponent just for other reasons, and then not choose it at all. But in this case, he definitely went for the Jaegers. Not really much engaged here. Rather than here fighting, well, it looks like here Heinz got off a good shot though, of course, using his marksmanship skills there to quickly pick off the Americans. Meanwhile, rather than holding up here, as we got Kubag and Kedna pushing forwards ever slowly, ever cumbersome. Captain Jacobs here going to fight the building as well. Bazooka rockets and other things that might fly towards. There we go. Heinz did die ultimately. More troops pouring in. Steel Pioneers almost finished with the work over here. Almost. We got more sandbags again, trying to sort of make moving a bit more difficult for his opponent. Of course, at the same time, of course, does also risk giving him cover. But there you go. Jaegers there rushed off the field as the captain continues to advance. Maybe he'll sort of catch the Kugelwagen here with a few good rockets. And a small engagement up here. Folks here versus Rappelin. Folks did lose up pretty badly. Jaegers sent up here to make a mess of the riflemen's plans. But can they win versus all those riflemen? Meanwhile, the pressure continues down here. Fortune might want to consider instead of just trying to get through here, instead of trying to get through and then sort of get behind the Americans there. The fact he ultimately does not go well here for the Americans up north, end up retreating here under the command of Biteandhold. Another truck there arriving for Fortune. Kugelwagen in a pretty poor state, and they go quick getting out before someone decides to turn it into a grill.
Americans are making a push.
Fulters then reinforcing. Troops coming up. We got a punch strike up there for some of the Fulters. Instant enough, despite having gone with the captain, we're not really seeing much from the building. I mean, you could usually go for a student house, sort of help harass anti-tank guns, prepare for any armor, or pack houses to blast away. In fact, no, we're seeing here an ambulance on the way. So it looks like he just got the captain apparently sort of to deal with the Kugelwagen. Interesting. Can't help but imagine that the captain might feel a bit depressed over that a man of his rank called in to deal with a Kugelwagen. Further pressure down here. Again, a part of me feels he should be sort of shifting up more troops, sort of trying to get pushed down here. I mean, it's very open. Also got a fuel cache going up here for Biteandhold, clearly preparing for a longer fight, which is good. And also works there versus the Oberkommand Division, further sort of gain a greater fuel advantage. Oh, Kugelwagen there charging straight into the captain's line of fire. And almost pays the ultimate price. Almost. In this case, it pays the penultimate price of quite a bit of damage. You might start going back. There we go. Infiltration assault grenades. Building collapses under the sheer volley of the grenades. Jaegers here finding best weapon advancing as well. Holding up as best as they can there in the ditch as the riflemen move up. And there you go, another series of grenades launched in their general direction, alongside an assortment of insults. Not quite working out there for the riflemen ultimately. The marksmanship there proving to be too much for them. So no doctrine here from Biteandhold. The rifleman he's got, infantry company with the Brownings there, could work out well. This could also work out reasonably. Recon support could of course also be used, but wouldn't necessarily mesh very well with all the riflemen he's got. Of course, another option would be to go for BARs. Rather than advancing up there, Kuban trying to deal with it. Need to be a bit careful though. Steel Pioneers kept from moving ahead. Looks like we're going to see a schwerer Panzerquartier to cover the fuel point. Pretty common to see that. Well, it's somewhat common. Some players, of course, like to see it up here a bit further on the front line, but it's generally not a bad idea to have something cover the fuel point, then particularly as the Oberkommando West. And there we go. Schwerer Panzerquartier being set up by Fortune. Riflemen rush ahead. Could go there for the point. Overall, bit of a hard time here for Fortune at the moment in maintaining map control. Fortunately, they're pushed away with potentially extensive losses, and we got a third Jaeger unit here arriving from a small shed, having infiltrated there, and then sneak up here to do some harassment there. Not bad, not bad. In fact, you could stay here for the fuel and actually cut that off from Biteandhold. Then we have to remind us on its own. First, there's not going to move up support here, or a counter that needs to be effectuated here from the base immediately to relieve the position. Otherwise, he might very well end up either losing it, or if he tries to retreat with it, he could actually end up handing it over to Biteandhold. There you go. Schwerer Panzerquartier up here for Fortune. There you go. Retreating the Raketenwerfer. Can it make it? Can it make the gauntlet here, or will... No, looks like it makes it. Yeah, because engaging caps in the rear, some looks like they weren't quite realising it. And actually taking several losses here already to the Jaegers. Biteandhold might of course realise that later on that something's not quite going the way it was supposed to down south. Kulvang moving up once more for the hunt of Americans. Now from there taking heavy losses to the Jaegers. Kulvang moving up, more Jaegers and Sturmpioniere moving ahead, and there we go, finally got a attack there from Biteandhold. He goes for infantry, which of course you can also use to lay down mines and sandbags and fighting positions. Those overall using his men to prepare his position, it will gain more of an advantage here when Fortune attacks. Going for the fuel, we got capturing again straight to the Jaeger. Jaeger, they're doing what they can. There we go, marksmanship once more proves somewhat supreme though, as the bazooka's high firepower, though rather turn things against the Jaegers a bit. Close to losing the captain. Actually got a quick sprint there, though he ultimately had to drop it since he couldn't get the bazooka. Major holding up the church. Securing points there again. Fortunately, really can't regain territory here while other troops occupy the centre and keep Biteandhold a bit occupied there. Maybe also focus his attention on it. Something Fortune is filled. Nothing further here though from Fortune. No anything from the Schwerer Panzerquartiers. No Obersoldaten. Well, looks. Got a Sherman there on the way for Biteandhold though. A bit of armour already rushing out here for the United States of America and Liberty. Got the Waffen hanging about there with 2 Browning light machine guns.
Supply hub Ketta is ready for orders.
Several of them now being handed out. Had plenty of munitions for it. No, he doesn't, but then again he's upgraded most of his units there with a lot of them. Overall cruising his firepower quite impressively, which is actually something here for Fortune to worry about. I mean, it looks could help a bit, of course, the Sherman out. That's going to be rather short-lived. So unless Biteandhold does something a bit reckless, the Waffen is going to be a bit tricky for Fortune to deal with. Of course, another option could be, playing for a flat panzer, though that would very much leave him vulnerable into any armour. There we go. Attacking unit heavy cover while going for this position. Note, of course, it does give a bit of light cover, but overall it doesn't protect you wildly. And in this case, of course, it is so close they actually could easily get off some grenades. Plus, of course, the enemy was in heavy cover, so it wasn't quite as potent. So that guy, he does seem to be having some particular ideas about this ability, which, of course, could end up in some good advantage then for Fortune. I mean, that's the sort of engagement that will actually be to the advantage of Fortune, rather than Mr. Biteandhold. Also, by the way, nice to see here a booby trap up. Rather than moving ahead there, low on health numbers, and there we go. Booby trap proving its worth. The Germans certainly were not above using those. Quite the opposite.
Our resource sector has been cut off from our supply chain.
Troops there securing points as well, which is Arbeit, Leute.
Ready to execute.
John moving about, he's switched over to high close rounds. Not really got much in terms of armor to worry about from Fortune at the moment. Fortune probably could be saving up for a Panther right now. That's going to be a bit risky. Going to take him some fuel to get there. On the other hand, when he does get it, of course, he's going to be in a rather good position. Of course, in that regard, Biteandhold isn't really preparing for it. We're not seeing any anti-tank guns or Jacksons or anything like that. There's just basically the captain with his bazookas to try and stop a Panther. In fact, he's adding more riflemen right now. And thus, more Browning-like machine guns. I mean, he's clearly going to see if he can't maybe, you know, basically gun his way through this one. Sherman moving ahead. That position there for the Foxes coming in 5% position. There we go. Yates moving. They could try and pop some grenades there on the. There we go. Rifleman. Will it be the captain instead? Looks like the captain was in fact the target there. Sherman slightly milling about. Without him support, it's going to be risky versus the Pancherschreck. A 50 cal would have been of help there. Fortune filling with a man trying here to crush them. There goes, sent them running. At the same time being pushed over from here. Not enough infantry to actually stop the German infantry's glorious Deutsches advance. Sherman going to have to fall back. Got a kidnap coming up here, and there goes Sherman almost knocked out. Biteandhold needs to be a bit more careful. And there we go, Rifleman with further Browning-like machine guns. I believe this variant was actually sort of made to sort of try and mimic the MG42 a bit more. Not so much in terms of firepower, just more in use and ease of use. Little fun fact there.
LEFG 18 howitzers stand ready to fire.
There we go again, using the defensive posture ability. And again, no, it gives basically light cover. And of course, in this case, you might have realised that's not quite going to work out versus Union in heavy cover. Even if they are rifle, of course, in particular, because the Jaegers can, of course, you know, with their marksman ability, actually sort of quickly do away with anyone sufficiently damaged in that regard. It's a bit more risky, the strategy here that Biteandhold is going to try and play out of the tactic there. Quick set of grenades, and of course, the grenades only make it more risky. So, of course, with the Jaegers out in the open, you'll have the easy advantage here. Cool run moving down here. Point there secured as well. Gaining in map control back though, as we now got the riflemen stream forth there. Loads of Browning LMGs. Quite a large ammunition expenditure to boot. And we don't have a Panther on the way. We got a Jagdpanzer on the way now for Fortune. Do believe it's time here for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is Fortune is sort of slowly losing ground, but at the same time, I mean, he's got a decent force. He's got a cool wagon, plenty of infantry, some anti-tank. Now he's adding in the Panzer IV, not my preferred choice, but you know, it's something, I suppose. It's something, and I suppose on a map like Samoski, if he can play it correctly, he can take advantage of the narrow streets if his opponent isn't too wise to sort of, you know, get the most out of it. But in some regards, it's not quite going to help so much for the infantry in that regard. He's going to have to hope that Biteandhold is going to be a bit reckless there with his infantry, and obviously also consider getting up some anti-tank guns, which is very much going to be one of the things to sort of will rapidly deal with the Jagdpanzer over that much worry. Of course, a Jackson could also work, but the anti-tank would definitely have the added benefit of the Jagdpanzer being able to do bugger all versus it. So there's a little something there to keep in mind for Biteandhold. He could also consider maybe using some of his doctrine, you know, sandbags to sort of create heavy cover here and there, or maybe lay down some mines. I mean, a good cluster of mines we've seen in previous replays could, for example, do a lot to maybe stop that Jagdpanzer from doing much, in which case, of course, that would be game over. That Jagdpanzer got immobilized. So that would actually be a good idea there for Mr. Biteandhold to consider. The mortar half-track, yeah, not really much use there in time of target. I mean, you could also get a priest, I suppose. At the moment, there's not really much use to it. There's not really so much for defensive play there that really required it from Fortune. A pack house could do the job, I think, much better without a huge fuel expenditure added. As to a light tank, I think we're actually much better sort of zipping around, sort of hitting targets here and there. So there you go. But let's head back here to this fight.
Enemy is alerted to our presence. Prepare for counter-strike. Do not let him regroup.
Several Jaegers there running back. Got the Sherman there moving ahead. Kubelwagen hiding behind the house, hoping no one sees it. We are a bush, we are a bush. We are not ein kleines car behind a house. Rather than moving ahead, lots of rounds again though. Need to be a bit more careful, and there we go. Could also leave himself there, up to grenades, and there you go. Quick steel hand grenade. And there we go. He retreated the wrong unit. He went for the long throw, and it worked. It worked. Bit of deception there, and we saw the entire unit wiping again. That's why I have to be a bit careful about this ability. But it's not just something to sort of immediately win you every engagement, though of course it seems like some players are starting to think it is. In this case he was, well, rather reminded it's not quite that way. Again, you should probably try to use, you know, his structure a bit more. Again, defensive structures and the likes. I think would have done a bit against some mines repair for any armour. But now instead we got a Jagdpanzer 4 here, again the Panzer 470. Which again I believe was the official designation. The Jagdpanzer was basically only its unupgraded variant, that is the one with the same gun as the Stuka and the Panzer 4. There we go, got the M43 here being run off here by the Jagdpanzer. Looks like he might be able to get in this case. He doesn't even try to pop smoke. And probably would have been his best choice here to sort of escape the Jagdpanzer. And maybe some good sharp turn from the state, though not quite working out. There you go, Jackson moving ahead. Doesn't keep moving, instead he gets shot at by a punch in the lights. Bit bloody close here though for Fortune's the Jagdpanzer. In the end though, he got that Sherman cooked up. And setting up here to watch the eastern half of the village here. And certainly in this area, it might have a slightly better sort of chance of being used again. We see them hitting up a defensive versus unit in height, heavy cover. In this case, of course, they are low and enough in health to sort of make it worth it. Of course, the question is how will Biteandhold now sort of respond to the Jagdpanzer again? An anti-tank gun would be sort of a pretty good approach, pretty good choice. Moving up here, you should consider by maybe getting some grenades to help deal with the Jaegers. Got 2 Jaeger units here, which is certainly not something you should be taking lightly either. From the veterans free, but they're taking rather heavy casualties. I fear that might be, there we go, too late in retreating, a bit poor unit per person there from Biteandhold, considering how quick the Jaegers were, making short work there of his rifleman. There you go again. This time with so many, he actually can suppress the rifleman there behind, or Jaeger behind heavy cover. Jagdpanzer moves ahead, and there you go, on an inbound course to crush the rifleman there beneath his treads if they don't get up. Jackson here could try and move in here from the northern active flank, the Jagdpanzer, but no. Anti-tank rifle going off there on the Jagdpanzer, damaging the engine. Still no sign of the Jackson. We got a priest up here, by the way, on the other hand, though. He could, I suppose, use his transport here. Rather than getting the jet, and there you go, lots of grenades going off. Resulting in a quick retreat there. And immediately sitting back here, repairing the Jagdpanzer. With a mechanized regiment here, by the way, on the front lines as well. Interesting. Fuel cache here spotted, but being dealt with swiftly by the Panzerschreck. More Academy after we got another Oberstein unit around there for Fortune. Whereas Biteandhold, due to his infantry players, rather rapidly suffered extensive casualties, which is not quite working out for him. We got the Jackson going, got an artillery strike going down as well. Looks like going to see if we can't finish off that Schwerer Panzer quarters. Not a bad idea. Could allow him to put the rat, but also of course deny any presence of Oberstaden or a Panther or any sort of further heavy armor there, except maybe King Tiger. Almost got it, almost, one more shot. There we go. Schwerer Panzer quarters down, a small victory here for Biteandhold. And meanwhile, the Jagdpanzer goes in on the hunt here. A bit risky considering what's going up for, which is a turret tank destroyer. I mean, one wrong move, and the Jagdpanzer could easily find itself outflanked, in which case it's toast. So this is some rather ballsy play here by Fortune. Rather ballsy. But in this case, does not seem to turn against him. Though it does not seem to lead him to any sort of victory either. Still very important to note, dangerous to move in a tank destroyer with no turret like that. Very dangerous. Kulwang hiding behind here. Again here push for the fuel pump. In this case we've got the veteran free rifle with dual Brownings ready to stop them. Scott on the way here to help deal with infantry. And a fresh demo charge here to cover the central victory point. Also getting that point secured.
Squad, ready to move.
And we've got several Jaegers swimming up once more. And there we go. Artillery going down there, not quite hitting anything. Not sure we're shooting though. I'm starting to guess it wasn't really a good position. Hitting defensive posture again, even though they are very low on healthy versus 2 Jaegers. There we go, they realise they're rather perilous situation and pull out before the Jaegers drive them out. Captain continues to fight here from the church with bazookas, but there we go, loads of grenades there. Collapsing the entire thing in moments. Got the Yak Panzer pushing forwards. Bit of lightning gauge down here. Rapidly getting caught by the Storm Pioneers. So they're moving, he's not paying attention. Biteandhold here trying to do a bit too much. Resulting in, well, the Storm Pioneers are getting some very easy kills here on the rifleman. And there you go, Jackson went down. Fun position attempted, but that's going to get knocked out as well. We've got a bazooka dropped here. We are seeing Biteandhold taking some rather catastrophic casualties from Fortune.
New target. Mission accomplished.
Rather horrific casualties there. And somehow the Yak Panther survived, although it was rather close to getting knocked out. So not all beer and skittles there, but certainly they are beginning to appear cracks larger and larger ever in Biteandhold's play here. His infantry play certainly beginning to seem increasingly reckless. And a bit reliant on maybe just being able to hit defensive stance no matter what. Which is certainly something that is questionable if he should be able, but in this case it's actually being punished quite nicely by Fortune. Also not really good artillery usage. He should be a bit more, well, sensible in that, but at the same time I do really feel a lack here of regular anti-tank guns just to help deal with some of that Yak Panzer. But there you go. Either that or a good flank to catch it off guard and knock it out. Again, defensive stance, defensive stance. In this case, they're quick suppressing the Jaegers because they're not on heavy cover this time around. And again, pressure around the map here from Fortune, never just sort of, you know, ganging up on one part of the map. Jaegers with the bazooka. Scott fire coming in there, 75mm gun. Quite a bit of manpower having flown to Fortune, then again there's not really much for him to use it on. And he just sort of directly seeks to spam. He could get a flak panzer to help deal with the infantry. Forces are getting bombarded by the Scott, run off. He could of course replace his Schwerer Panzer headquarters. Be what he's intending to do here, in which case he should do it soon. Major reactions have been pushed away by the Sturm Pioniere. Priest's not really getting much killing done. Certainly proven to have been perhaps not the best investment here for Biteandhold at the moment. So this is not really getting that much done. And I'm guessing this is another booby trap up here from Fortune. Another. More riflemen on the way to the Biteandhold. Ever more riflemen, men. Nothing ain't really happening here, but the mechanized regiment headquarters could be aiming up for maybe some King Tides, in which case you trade for fuel. Not really happy about that fuel float. Not really happy. Scott flying in there. Oh! Almost got the entire Jaeger unit there. Almost got the entire lot. In one devastating hit there from the Scott. And we got our Kedmeth moving out on his own. Still nothing here with the truck though. Could end it up. Jaeger, well, Yak Panzer creeping forwards here. Somehow in full sight in that kind of camouflage. Rifle again hitting defensive posture. Got Scott the firing over. There you go. Yak Panzer uncloaking. Hit the fuel catch instead of the Scott. Took a hit there from the Scott. Priest needs to get out of there quickly in there. Oh! Jagdpanzer missed at range. More hit here. Actually got a damage engine right forced away. If only had an anti-tank and a tank shot here, might be. There we go. We got Betty to here for the Jagdpanzer. Skirts at it. Schützen at it. Jagdpanzer desperate trying to get out of there with a damaged engine. No Jackson on the way there for Biteandhold. Another Jackson. More grenades here lobbed through the air. Not quite connecting though. And we've got cautious movement again. Making it even slower. Ooh, quick flank down here. Quick trying to strike around, but again with limited forces. Very limited forces there from Biteandhold. Right man, though quickly stopped by the very veteran Fox Grenadiers. Jackson almost done. And the Priest so far has yet to score a single kill. A single kill has not yet been scored. Rather than moving ahead there.
Crew ready.
Squad, shut it.
And there you go, ballast going off. Actually getting some kills. Good lord. Actually getting some kills. Yegs moving up. They're sprinting in here versus Ruffman. Good job there, by the way. Good job. Getting up close. Could easily get up some grenades there versus them and finish them off. Again, Biteandhold I feel might be relying a bit too much on the defensive stance. Might as well just speed this up a wee bit here. Just a bit. Jagdpanzer moving ahead here. Overall, not really doing that much, although Biteandhold is making it a bit easier for the Jagdpanzer to do things. Damaged engine again. Damaged engine again. Demo charge with another one the entire rifleman unit. Then looks like here we might see some Jaegers, something else finish them off. There we go, run off. Caused a bit of trouble. Still no grenade upgrade or anything like that for the rifleman. There we go, grenade going off on them instead, leaving them rather in a bad state. And there you go, wiped on retreat. Practically no infantry left here for Biteandhold, who's now getting a Sherman. There you go, artillery going down here in the Jagdpanzer. Getting a few more kills in there, in fact one more kill. This has really not been a good investment for Biteandhold. This has definitely not been a good investment. At this point it's pretty much looking like GG there for Biteandhold.
Squad, listen up.
Yeah. But at the same time there's not really much of fortune to actually use it on in this case as the Oberkommando West. And that will always be one of the reasons, one of the problems with the Oberkommando West. You easily end up having so much manpower but not really much to use it on. In particular not if you want to try and avoid just, you know, spamming infantry completely mindlessly. Which is why I'm going to let it slip this time around. Otherwise, I'm not exactly a huge fan of manpower folk. In this case, when it's the Oberkommando West, I can actually understand why.
The enemy is reduced to
The grenade going off there. Almost running the rifleman. Got a Sherman, got a Jackson ready. Rather than finally moves the Fox Grenadiers. Priest firing again. Still not hitting. There goes Sherman, hit Jackson. Shooting, not really hitting. In fact, hitting, I think, something else entirely. Sherman taking a lot of damage. Could lead down some smoke. There you go. Jagdpanzer taking hits. Sherman getting behind. Needs to switch out to armor piercing rounds. Switch out to armor piercing rounds. High explosive won't work there. Armor piercing. Oh, there you go. Shot one through nonetheless. There you go, we got two Rakenos arriving here, and that basically is going to finish off this armoured thrust here from Biteandhold. And there you go, Jack's kaput as well.
Prepare for action.
And there we go.
Complete.
GG. And there we go, looks like he disconnected, a bit upset. So game over here, victory for the Oberkommando West. In this case, was a player who got, I think, a bit too carried away there with rifle with Browning like machine guns and the defensive stance, which rather cost him a lot in terms of infantry, because he rather took some bad positions there versus units in heavy gun, particularly the Jaegers, which can rather take advantage of such a situation and rather punish an American player who does do that. Those was a problem. They were flanking, and overall, you know, he could overall, I think, use some smoke down his Shermans. And you know, he could have used a lot more of his doctrine again, some mindset, and now I think could have done a lot, for example, to wreck up that Yak Panzer for any other further vehicles there from Fortune. And some grenades, I think, in several cases were also done well versus those Jaegers. I mean, several times they'd be right next. So in that guy, I feel like, you know, Biteandhold got a bit too obsessed with certain parts, and then rather forgot about a broader game and also using more of his units. In that regard, you know, Fortune more or less outplayed him, even with the Yak Panzer IV, which certainly is something. Although it was rather close there to getting knocked out in the end, but there you go. So hopefully you enjoyed this match, hopefully learned something from it, hope it gave some ideas for in matches. If you did, want to subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If you're not new, send a replay about your own, or provide some feedback in the comments section. This is Imperial Dane, cheers, and thank you all for watching. Bye!